Buddy, this is Mr. Mahi here. For this video, I'm going to show all of you how to get to my website and how to navigate my website. I'll make some other videos that show you how to navigate the individual sections to more in depth, but let's just go ahead and show you how to get there. So right now I have the Digital Arts website up. And you can see all of the Digital Arts 1, Digital Arts 2, where you usually have gone to access the class content. So let's actually scroll down here to where you see at the bottom left. You can see where it has my last name, Mahi. That's where you click. So if I click here, it'll actually redirect me to my teacher website. And so this is what we're going to be using when we work on our projects that I've been informing you all about in terms of my EdTPA. But I'm just going to give a brief overview of this website. So here we have my home page, and if you hover over these links, the pages on the left, you can see that there's more options that come out from the side, so that just so you're aware of that. So I click home, you can see what is your dream. And so basically what dream is for me is, this is an acronym is what this is called. And so what DREAM stands for is the D is determination, R is respect, E is education, A is attitude, and M is mistakes. And so, you know, this little overcome your barriers for determination, and then as we go down, respect those around you. Education opens doors to opportunities. Your attitude in life determines your altitude in life, and then it's okay to make mistakes. That's how you learn. So that's basically what this page is devoted to. Over here we have this I believe. So if you click here, this is just kind of more of my teacher's philosophy and what I think, and so you can read that right there, kind of where I'm clicking around right there. And so that's kind of my philosophy on teaching. Archives you don't really have to worry about. There's nothing really there. I was told to, I put it in there for in case I needed to use it for later. But this one's really important though, the Tigard High School page. And as you can see, if I click over here or look over here, I have school and class calendar, news, events, announcements. If you missed a class, you can click here, and other resources for class. So if I click the school and class calendar, it will bring me to this page, and you can click on either the Digital Arts web page. So if I click on this, you can access the Digital Arts page from my website. And I click back up here in the tab, right where I clicked. And then if you click on this link, it links you into the Tigard High School homepage. And so if I click on that, you'll see that it brings me right to the Tigard High School webpage right here. Okay, and so that's how you can access some of the events in the calendar from my website. So I'm just going to kind of click out of those right now. All right, and so if we hover back over Tigard High School, you have news and events. So if I click news and events, it tells you about where you can access the announcements from the school or the announcements. And so if you click on this Tigard image, it will redirect you to the same page again. So this is another area that you can access the school calendar, news that's happening throughout the week, potentially for the school, and then links right here to the school. So let's click out of that, and so let's come back over and hover over this again. This third option, which is missed a class, click here. So you click there and say you wanted to look back on some content that we covered previously in the very first quarter, so quarter 1 and then partway through quarter 2. You can click on this link here again, and as it reads, click on the linked image to be redirected to the Digital Arts 1 webpage. And so this will take us right to all the projects that we've been working on. So say, you know, let's just look at if there was something cool that you saw in the fantasy landscape or the photo illustrated idiom or the photo pattern. So if I click on photo pattern, you can access like the information that's from Mr. Leidy's webpage. And so if I hover back over, you have other resources for class. So if I click on that, so if you are having a difficulty understanding the English language, particularly if English is not your first language, you can click on this, which will direct you to Google Translate. And so if I click on Google Translate, it will take me to that, that support application. I'll do a different tutorial on how to talk or explain this, but we don't have to worry about that right now. Okay, so graphic design resources. Now, if I click on graphic design resources, the original page has shortcut key combinations to Corel Painter. And so if you just scroll through there, you can kind of see some of those shortcut key commands. There are no shortcut key commands at the moment that are related to Photoshop, but I can put those in later. In this first link here, graphic design vocabulary, you can click on either Udemy blog or 50 design terms. And so let's just click on Udemy blog. And so that will redirect you actually to a basic vocabulary list that you should know in terms of the field of graphic design. And so if I scroll down, you see A is alignment, B is bleed, C is CMYK, which is another form of colors related, a different color palette related to, that's apart from our, the primary colors that we use in the program. D, focal point, grid, all these. So that's just one link that you can go to, and the other one, 50 design terms. It's basically the exact same thing, but there's 50 different terms. So you know, you have typography, which is basically the art of creating words. And so basically you can look through all this and find some pretty cool terms and explanations to graphic design resources. And so if I actually, so let's re-hover back over this graphic design resource, and let's go to the second option that says graphic design resources from YouTube. So if you click on this, you can access different tutorials that I've linked in here. The first one, obviously, even though this says Corel Painter 2017, it's actually Corel Painter 2016, as you can see where I'm clicking right there, where I just highlighted that. And so if you see this here option, you know it's underlined, you click on the underlined portion, it will take you directly to tutorials in Corel Painter. The same thing right here, you can access information related to the Adobe Creative Cloud, which I highlighted right there. And so if I click on there, here are some resources related to the Adobe Creative Suite. And so, there's a lot of videos in here, so you just kind of have to look through. It's just basically a resource that if you want to learn something new, this is a really good spot to go to for that. And then I went ahead and linked in this guy. This guy right here, his name is Terry White. He's an Adobe evangelist. And so if there's any kind of in-depth knowledge that you want to know about a particular program, so I'm going to go ahead and click here and get redirected to the website for him. This guy I ran across a couple years back when I was just looking through the internet for new techniques related to graphic design. And so he is just, might be one of the best channels I've ever run across. And so if I just go to playlists, you can see he has Creative Cloud Photography Plan, Adobe Lightroom, Adobe Mobile Apps, Adobe Photoshop right here that I'm kind of close to Terry White Live. So if you want to learn pretty much anything that's not covered in class or learn something new, I highly, highly recommend that you go to the link right here for Terry White. So I'm clicking right next to him. And then graphic design resources. If you come down here, I have a couple of tutorials that I have made. So if we click in my tutorials, I have a tutorial on navigating the basics of Corel Painter. We've kind of passed that, so you can look at it if you want, but we're in Photoshop right now. Particularly, I think it'd be good to click on this tutorial where I kind of give a brief overlay on how to use Google Images in a really effective way. I'm not going to click on it, but this just teaches you an easier way to navigate more images in terms of graphic design. So you can click here and you'll find that that's really, really helpful for that. Okay. All right, so let's come over here to this option called Your Dream Home Landscape. And so if I click on this, this is what we'll be using when I'm teaching all of you in January, February, about that time. I'm going to be teaching a sequence of units that's explaining the artistic process from brainstorming to creating your art projects, and then from there moving to an actual critique and explaining how to basically explaining what you created and why you created it. So I'm going to do a different video for that. It needs to happen in a couple of videos. But say like lesson 1 would have its own kind of video, lesson 2 would have its own video, lesson 3, lesson 4, lesson 5. And so just we're not going to go over this right now, but I just wanted to make you aware of this is what we're going to be using for that unit in January, February. All right, so we have this last page. And so if I click on this last page, it's called Contact Me. So this is a page you can use to email me directly. And so if I scroll down here, you can see you'll put your name in, your last name, your email address, and then your comment. And so if you have a comment or you have a question, feel free to put it in here and then send that comment to me, and I will look at it as soon as I'm able to and respond back to you about it. Okay? All right, so I'm just going to click back here on the home page, move me back to this great home page here. All right, so that is the tutorial on how to navigate my website. And if you have more questions, feel free to talk to me in class, or feel free to look at this in your own time. Hope that this has been helpful. Take care, have a great day, and I will catch you later. Bye-bye.